to go into my spiritual awakening. I think that was what pushed me into my spiritual awakening. Is the kids was leaving me, and now I'm finding myself alone. And I think that is what really actually was triggering me to wake up. Wake up, wake up. And I was a state of being alone. And like I said, the ego had its part in there too, because if I can just bring on that loneliness and that empty nest syndrome, then I could keep that control and that power, the ego thought. I can keep that power control and keep her wandering around and fighting herself and being angry at herself and being pushed down in depression and hurt and pain and go back through all those things and hurts and relive them and lay down with them every night. But that's the time that the soul, my higher self was really warring and fighting to save me. That was the point during that empty nest syndrome, the spiritual awakening. I was coming through it, and the soul was pulling me through it, and the ego was trying to pull me back, and they were warring with one another. And all of this, the soul, my higher consciousness was kept saying, live, 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 fight, you gotta fight, live, fight. And I had to fight and live and keep getting up every day knowing that I was greater than what people had told me. I was better than I had believed in myself. Oh, let me get back off this, I'm sorry. But number 4, you possess a painful feeling of powerlessness and hopelessness. Yes. Number 5, let me say it again. Number 5, your will and self-control are weakened, making it difficult for you to act. Number 6, you lack interest and find no joy in things that once excited you. And number 7, you crave for the loss of something intangible, a longing for a distant place or to return home again. It's like something like I don't belong here. It's like something missing in my life. I'm not where I need to be, and I start feeling that. I'm not where I need to be. I felt like I was separated from everything and everybody, and I felt like there was more to life and to me than what was in front of me and what everybody had told me. Something was missing. I was like, I'm not in my place where I need to be. I'm not at home. And I wasn't, because I was still living partially in that home with that ego. Even though I was climbing now to my higher density, to my home, my new home, and with my soul consciousness, with my divine self. The ultimate difference between depression and the dark night of the soul is that depression is usually self-centric, whereas the dark soul is philosophical in nature, your physiological self in nature. And it's accomplished by essential reflections such as, why am I here? Who am I? What is my purpose? I don't know, those are questions I know I had constantly asked as I was doing my spiritual awakening, and I know that you all many probably can relate to that, those questions. Where am I? Why am I here? Who am I? What is my purpose? And that one, what is my purpose, was one I just kept asking all the time. I knew there was a purpose that was far greater than what people had told me about myself and what I had believed. Also, when depression ends, not much changes in your life in terms of your beliefs, in terms of your values and your habits. However, when the dark night of the soul ends, everything in your life is transformed and life becomes wondrous again. It's just like you come out that cocoon and you make that transformation from that caterpillar to that beautiful butterfly. Oh, some people stay in a cocoon for a long time, and I consider I stayed in there for a long, long, long time in that cocoon. But the day that I finally emerged out of that cocoon and I transformed myself from that little ugly caterpillar into the beautiful butterfly that I am today, it's wondrous. It's a beautiful feeling. It's beautiful to be alive. It's beautiful to be colorful. It's beautiful now to know that I am a greater person. I'm a greater version of myself. Oh, beautiful. Life becomes wondrous again. And that means that you have defeated that ego. And now that your soul is totally in control, and you're transcending and you're growing into your higher divine self, your conscious self, your spiritually conscious divine self. You're reaching now to that top chakra, which is the crown, the light. You are the light. This is where your peace is. This is where your knowing is. And this is what you grow into. And there's a lot more I want to say in this video, but it's like I said, it was pretty long and so much more. And like I said, you can go back and watch my video that I did on depression about 2 weeks ago. That will explain more to you. And I talked about in that last video on depression about in 2018 when depression came up on me again. And you know, it tried me. Like I said, it will keep trying you. And it hit me so hard back in 2018, in the latter part of the spring, and that's the morning I woke up feeling really good. I was feeling good. Went into the bathroom and I was getting dressed. When I came back, bam, it walked in on me and caught me off guard. And I was like, all of a sudden, my best feeling ever was feeling great, and all of a sudden, bam, it stood there looking at me. And I felt it. It was like I said, like a 36 high-story building of bricks come tumbling down on me like wham. And I couldn't take that. That hurt so bad. And I reached out and I just stood out my arm and I said, Divine Creator, my Heavenly Father, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to go through this pain anymore. I don't want to experiment this. This is hard. This is the hardest I ever had. Please take it away. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. Take it now. Take me. But you know, as I did that video 2 weeks ago, I'm realizing I told you that when I laid on that bed and all of a sudden my body went limp, and I just suddenly, it's like my something left my body. And I was like, I had told you in that video, something came into me and changed me. But before something came into me now, he gave me a revelation this morning. He took something out of me, and that was the ego. He took the ego out of me while he put me in a deep sleep. It was about 2 hours. I was totally out of it. I didn't know. I don't even know. It was like an out-of-body experience. He took out the ego. Now he let me know I came in. Yes, I put something in you, but I also took that part of you that you have fought with all your life. I took it out. That was your ego. He came in and did a transformation, taking the ego part out of me while I lay there limp, lifeless, did not even know what he was doing in me. But I knew when I woke up, there was a change in me like I never felt. There was a transformation that has taken place in me. He took out the ego and he awakened the soul in me. And the soul came in and took totally control of my life. And the ego died. That was the ego's death. That was the death of the dark night of the soul. That was the death of the dark night of the soul, the crucifixion. It died. And my soul came alive. And during that process, I lived. And that was the best transformation, best feeling I ever had in my life. I felt totally, absolutely like a totally different person. And all this took place, I said, in the latter part of 2018. And like I said, despite the struggles of my life, starting at 2014, as I started my spiritual awakening, like I said, the ego had controlled me from my birth all the way up till that 2014. That's when the soul come in, as he was really now taking over of that ego and awakening me. That was in the part of 2014 of December. It used the empty nest syndrome, my kids are gone, to really get my attention. You by yourself now, ain't nobody here for you. You gotta wake up, you gotta take care of you. You can't depend on your family, your children. It took everything I had, just took it. So I can grow into my better and higher version, of myself. So on that note, 2018, as I said, it was my best year. I mean, I grew to know my purpose, my life, my plans that the Creator had for me. I just grew. I did not need anymore for anybody to come and try to dictate my life, to tell me who I am, who I was, where am I supposed to be. I didn't need that. I knew then from that point on, when he did that transformation, I knew I became destiny. I became life. I became my greater and my best version of myself. I became light and love and peace. I became everything. I came to know me and my purpose. Go back and watch that video, that one I did on depression 2 weeks ago. I don't want to keep going back over it, but it explains more, and I'm trying to get through this video. I don't want to make it too long. But I became me, my best self. My soul won. My conscious divine self won. My conscious divine self became my greatest and best version of who I am. So let me conclude this. When I was in the 4th grade, I had a teacher. She taught us poetry, my English teacher, and her favorite poet was Robert Frost, and she introduced him into my life. And I fell in love with a couple of his poems, and one of the poems that stuck with me all of my life, it kept coming back up, was the poem by Robert Frost that was called The Road Not Taken. And all my life from 4th grade all up to now, every so often that poem would just come up just like, but I didn't understand it. And I think about a year ago, I did an article on it. If you go to my Facebook page called Destiny Forever, you can scroll down in the bottom of it, you'll probably find that poem. I did an article on that. But now today, I got a whole new revelation on that poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And I'm going to read it to you. Then I'm going to explain a little bit. I'm going to be out of here. 2 roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveled, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bit in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling you this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. By Robert Frost. Now, today, I get it. Those two roads, as my consciousness, my intuition, my gut feeling revealed to me this morning. The reason why that point never left me, because there was a message way back from I was a little child, way back in the 4th grade. It was letting me know that you were going to one day come across those two roads that was already in you, but you don't understand it yet. Those two roads, that road that been traveled was my ego road, and that road that yet has not worn was my soul road, my conscious, my higher consciousness. That ego road was that road that had been trodden on, that had been through abuse and pain and hurt and fear, anxiety, depression, been through all kinds of things that people have spoken in my life, the programming of my ego soul, the programming of society, the programming of church, the programming of Christianity, the programming of religion, the programming of my parents, my teachers, my peers, everything, the government systems, people, even myself, have made labels and have programmed myself. I put many leads on that road, and I trod down that road so many times, and it was muddy, it was dirty, it was filthy, it was ugly, it was roadblocks, there was stumblings, but every roadblock, the ego would move a path out the way, or stone or rock, and say, I got another path for you. And I kept on following the ego down that road. And it led me to almost death. It led me to almost to end my own life. Because the ego don't want to die. The ego is going to fight to stay alive, but it will take you out if you don't travel with it, if you don't follow it. And that road was that traveled road. That traveled road was a road that I had went down, and had taken many people with me, and I had followed many people on that road. We had dirt and mud, sand, we had rocks, we had everything, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things. They were on that road. It was bumps, it was bruises, it was fights, it was hurts, it was abuse, it was losing my 9 kids through miscarriages that I had. It was losing life. It was losing my 2 marriages, that it was losing my kids. It was losing everything in my life. It was that road. So it would keep me in that state of depression, that state of anxiety, that state of fear, that state of wanting to make myself better, that made me believe that I would never be anything than what I was. I could never be greater. That ego wanted to control me. It kept me on that road for all of my life. So one day, like I said, the soul, my higher conscious, reversed it. And that's the day I said he came in and he took that ego. I didn't have to fight it anymore. He took it out of me. He did a transformation. And his soul came in alive and took control. Only way he could take control, that my conscious divine self had put me totally asleep, so I wouldn't fight against it. So I would not war against what was going on, because I felt like I had to hold on, because it's all I ever knew. I had to hold on to my ego. I had to hold on to those dark nights of the soul. I had to hold on to that. That was all I knew. So put me to sleep and put that ego to death, and put it to death, and I became alive. And that's that road. And he brought me back to the fork of that road. As the two roads merged out, I looked down that one road that I'd been down on all my life. That muddy, dirty, horror, abusive, pain, sickness, sadness, loneliness, hurtful, lies, deceptions, deceits, all kinds of things, and many shed tears, and the things I try to do to myself, the taking of the drugs that I was trying to put myself out, and all those different things. I mean, I'm just gonna lay it out there raw to you. Because the only way you can heal, you gotta be raw, you gotta be upfront, you gotta be straight out, you gotta be truthful. You gotta face it, you gotta stand up to it, and you gotta address it, and you can't be ashamed about it. You can't hide because it knows that you got fear. You gotta let it know that I'm fearless. I'm fearlessly. You can't bring that up to me no more. You can't address that to me anymore. I am power. I am not a victim of you anymore. I am a survivor. And I thank my divine creator, my divine consciousness, my God consciousness, my higher power in me for making the transformation and cutting out that soul and putting that ego to death. And I looked at that road, one road less traveled, and that was that road of my soul. And I looked at that other road that I had traveled down all my life, and I was like, I ain't going down that road no more. I'm not going down that path anymore. I'm not going through those tunnels and those pains and those hurts and those in those dark moments of the soul and those loneliness and this emptiness, and I'm not going through it no more. I don't care. I don't know what's down this road. The grass looks greener, and when they tell you the grass is green on the other side, and they say it doesn't, oh, it's greener, believe me. That tall green grass with nobody tread, but where that soul was trying to pull me, I let go of that. And you gotta learn how to let go of things that no longer serve you, that has no purpose in your life. You better learn to let it go, drop it, don't hold no ties to it, don't hold no conversations with it, don't claim it, don't own it. You got to let it go. Let it go means totally just let it go so you can begin to live and allow yourself to live your greater, better version. So I just took that path, got on that path in 2018, and I'm every day. Now we in 2019, I'm getting better and better and better every month. Every year I'm growing. I'm just becoming a greater version of I am. That dark night of the soul is there already. Know me. It's already living in you. It's waiting for you to grab your baby, whatever you put in you, so it can start programming you. And it wants to program you even after you're born, or after your child is born. So you can never live life to its fullest to become your divine consciousness self, your higher, greater level of who you were created to be. So you'll never know who you are and your purpose in life. So you would always live beneath your divine self. So, I'm going to stop this because this is getting a little bit too long. And I just hope you get something out of it. I hope you can relate with it. Just leave me comments that, if it helped you, or if it shed any kind of light on some things that you may have been going through in your life. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. Any questions, leave them down in the comment box, and I'll get back with you on anything that may help you with. Just go out and live life. Hey, whatever that you confess and whatever that you speak and whatever you believe, that's what you have. Like I said, you are a victorious, powerful, creative being. You are God consciousness. You are your perfect divine self. You are light, you are love, and you are peace. That is already in you. Your soul is already put that in you. Even though that ego consciousness is trying to tell you that you're not, and it's bringing that darkness, trying to expel that light. We can't. Darkness can't expel light. Light had to expel darkness. So go out, like the ego kept saying, he wanted to have power. He wanted to lead and guide me. But the soul kept saying, I want you to live, birth yourself, live. And that's what you're going to have to do. So on this note, go out and live. Go out there and make your life the best life that you ever have. Create the best life for yourself. Live life for you. Be you, do you. And learn that you don't have to answer to things that label you or things that call your name. If it's not what you were created to be, you can turn your deaf ear Take your hatchet and your butcher knife and whatever you got, your machete, whatever you have, cut the ego. Let it die. On that further note, I love you. Thank you for visiting with me on this video today. I just am very grateful for all my viewers out there, and I just wish you the best. And I'm just going to end it. I love you. And thank you for this time with you. And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave comments and questions that you may have in the comment box. On this further notice, I'm going to say I love you. Have a great day, and namaste.